Alright, one more game of chess here. Let's get a nice 15-minute in against somebody who's rated 1775. If I can't beat this guy, I won't be ready for that over-the-board tournament I'm going to in 3 weeks. Alright, we're playing d4, knight f6, c4. Playing against Rayaba from Morocco. Alright. So do I play c takes d with the exchange variation against this martial defense? Possibly transposing into a Grunfeld. It's a very transpositional opening. It's very good for black because it does cancel a lot of opportunities for white. It very strongly discourages any inkling of playing e4 at any point. So I'm going to play flexibly with knight f3. Perfectly happy to go into a Queen's Gambit accepted type of line. Black almost never plays that. And so he plays it. Alright, so we can enter my book. Knight c3 is what I play against certain types of players, but e3 is very difficult to refute for black. I'm just going to play ambitiously. The reason it's considered ambitious, or as ambitious, is because I don't win the pawn right away, so he can try to defend with moves like a6. Bishop e6 is possible. It's not optimal, but it's possible. It kind of clogs up his position, and then the bishop gets stuffed up against this c4 pawn. So my long-term plan will be to develop my bishop with tempo, and he keeps playing these moves that I don't expect because I think of them as bad. I mean, not only is he plugging up this pawn, but I can just kick the thing away with g5. Not that I will play that, but it's an idea. Maybe I will play it. I mean, he probably just defends it with his queen. I can go up and exchange with better development, I'd say. The queen's kind of misplaced there. Or if I play that and he moves the bishop, probably plays it here to c4. And I do have an attack on f7. I don't know. If he moves the bishop, though, I'm going to play e3 and win that pawn back anyway. A fianchetto looks really good in this position now because he won't ever be able to play his pawns to the light squares in the center. Having no d-pawn, e-pawn's going nowhere, f-pawn's going nowhere. I'll have to play c3. I mean c6. Which is quite bad in my opinion. I mean, I always have queen a4. A lot of people do play that in these lines. I mean, I don't know. It puts more pressure on the pawn. Not particularly the direction I want to be moving, though. I want to get really active with my minor pieces. I want to take control of the center. I want to add pressure to his position, keep his pieces from developing. Bishop g5 looks possible. Alright, bishop g5 is fine. Then I play e3. Notice, even though I'm down a pawn, I mean, come on. This is chess theory here. Grandmasters everywhere are looking for positions where they can have such superior development. The opponents have awkward pieces. The pawns can't move. The pieces can't develop. I mean, I would not want black's position. Given two pawns, I still don't want black's position. course, if I start playing slow moves or inaccurate moves, he can slowly turn this position into good for him. I'm not going to give him that position if all goes well. I'm even threatening to take the thing, the knight on f6. Any pawn recaptures, then I play d5. With that knight gone, I can always play e4, which is always a luxury for white in these queen pawns openings. One of the reasons why I think the king's Indian defense isn't particularly popular these days, because white does get e4 in so soon. Just further blocking black's pieces off, forcing black to kind of attack with his pawns on the king's side sometimes. Just giving white a comfortable game. If white can just defend in any position where he plays e4 and black starts attacking with his pawns to try to dislodge e4, white's gonna win the game without having extended near or taken any real risks. So, the way black's been playing, he should probably try to keep defending c4, because if he gives up c4, well then bishop e6 is even worse of a move to have played. There's a lot of ways white can embarrass that bishop, but honestly, I think the best way to embarrass that bishop would be not even to do anything about it. Just leave it there, just reminding black that he can't move his e-pawn. Playing c5 is probably one of the book moves here, honestly, after which e3 is automatic. And if captures, I take with the knight, maintaining my nice pawn structure. So I've got 3 pieces developed. He's got 2, and they're poorly developed, blocking off his pawns. I have all the attacking chances on the queen's side, so moving his queen's pawns isn't so appealing. So really, none of his pawns have very good moves. And if he does play h6, I think that's the only way I would be coaxed into taking that knight. Because if he doesn't play h6, I'm not even taking the thing. And if he continues to play slowly, I will play my knight to e5. Immediately, though, it doesn't carry any immediate threat, so I'm not going to do it. After playing e3, though, there will be ideas of possibly bringing my queen over to h5. And having all these pieces in his face, all these pieces in his face, well, what it does is it provokes weakness. He can't afford to weaken this king side. If he starts doing that, then I attack the king's side. Okay, so that's probably a decent move. But if he takes, I just recapture towards the center. Now, queen a4 is probably okay, actually. Just taking the pawn. Anytime knight takes, I take back with the queen. And then I have a better position, plus I'm not down a pawn anymore. One idea also, maybe I play e4 here. He takes, I take, and then I'm going to be looking to play d5. Maybe I should just play h6, so that when I do execute that plan, his bishop is even worse. But no, that's not necessary. It's just an idea. If knight takes, either queen or bishop takes. No, that's no good. I'm not ever gonna take this knight. I'm gonna let him take, so I can take towards the center. So do I stick to my plan here? Just defend? Yep, we're just gonna develop and defend. Now the threat of taking the pawn with the bishop is an idea. Still leaving open the possibility of allowing him to play b5. After knight takes, pawn takes, b5, I've got a4 in that situation. So I'm giving him a lot of hard, tough decisions. This 1775 player is down on time. And he does indeed decide to commit to taking my knight. So I have an even better center. He did play that move. And I indeed will play this, just as I described in my little analysis. See, whenever your opponent takes more time than you to think during a specific type of, a specific phase of the game, you don't want to lose focus. You want to continuously calculate variations because, who knows? Maybe they'll be played. Maybe you'll have earned yourself some extra time on the clock. See, I could practically pre-move the last few moves I played. Not that they're obvious, just that I've calculated them ahead of time. If you're good enough, maybe they were obvious, but well, I still have to think to find moves sometimes like that. Alright, so he plays his bishop back, which officially, I feel like that officially is Black's way of saying, yeah, bishop e6 was indeed a mistake. Speaking of mistakes, wouldn't knight e5 be tragic here if he played f6? No, because then I'd take the knight. I mean the bishop. But still, I feel like that is not the direction White wants to go. But no. I was just thinking of, if I play my knight here to e5, I'll have queen f3. I love variations where White can play queen f3. So do I just take with a nice attack? So if I take bishop takes, queen b1. With an obviously superior position? Or do I just start out with knight e5? Well, maybe now it's time to win my pawn back. Well, if knight e5, I'm going to win the bishop pair, basically. If knight e5 and he moves his bishop anywhere, I just take the pawn on b5. If he doesn't move, if he just takes on a4, then I take the bishop, queen takes, and maybe I even play just queen takes with an obvious advantage. Alright, let's do it. But, yeah, I mean, he'll push that pawn maybe, but I still have takes, so let's do it. Yeah, I thought he'd do that. He played queen takes there. Now we're gonna add more pressure to his position. So he's gonna have this ridiculous pawn structure. I'm gonna be looking to play c4 as soon as possible once I've evicted his pawn from c4. Queen f3 just looks like a no-brainer here. I also have queen check over on this side on h5. I'm gonna take first. Queen h5. He pushes his pawn. Then I play back here. Just evoke more weakness. I could even play queen c5. That's kind of sneaky. Yeah, this is really sneaky right here. Maybe it's not very sneaky because then he pushes his pawn. But yeah, I can't play that. So we'll do this just like I expected, with the threat against the rook. Plays that. Alright, so that knight's pinned. If I push the pawn, knight must move. After knight moves, I push the pawn again. Take. No, that's no good. Let's just develop. Let's play some natural development. Anytime he starts kicking my bishop, I'm not going to mess around. I'm just going to play h3. He's going to lose a tempo attacking my bishop and such, and I'm going to gain, and I'm going to lose a tempo by playing h3, so that's my defense to that idea. My dark square bishop is, it's okay. It's keeping his pieces away from b1, b8. Kind of helping me defend e5. Alright, the music's too loud. I'm turning that down. Alright, so he plays e6. Play h4 now. Very cheekily starting to attack the king. If I play rook a6, threatening the knight, that might be really good. After that, he has to play his rook over, defending. Huh, let's just castle. I don't fear his king's pawns for some reason. Alright, now we do this with tempo. Hitting the knight and bringing my other rook to the a file. Alright, so he plays rook over, defending. Now we go rook a1, attacking. He has to worry about some things. Alright, so how do I activate this bishop? Maybe I can do this. What's that bishop doing anyway? Alright, I can try to play for d4, d5. Yeah, just opening up lines for my bishops, really. He's not going to be able to attack my center now. e4 is a nice move to be able to play now. Oh, and he drops a piece. Or exchange, mind you. Always happy to see that. Always happy to. Now we push. Knight attacks my queen, no problem. I just play here. And if he does that, I just do this. I'm going to win my a7 pawn eventually. Let's see. Okay. A lot of pressure on a7. Very bad square to lose, allowing me to have these rooks on the 7th. Rook up. I'm going to try to, double up on the 7th rank. So what's he playing? Rook a8. Well, I'm going to be playing d6 soon. After d6, I'll have bishop here. Well, first I'll have to play f4 and then bishop f3, keeping him away from ace a8. So I think this player is on the losing end of the board right now. So I have queen takes, I have rook takes. I don't have rook takes because then knight check, winning my queen, I think. If I just play this, queen takes, that must be good. Threatening the queen. Any, knight, if he plays knight check, bishop takes. Okay, this is winning, I think. Absolutely encouraging any trades now that I'm up this exchange. Just going to have strong rooks on the 7th. Very strong. You guys notice how all game long, being down a pawn didn't even matter. If you have the initiative, whenever your opponent starts to play for pawns, not saying that black was playing for the pawn, but, he ended up in a position where he had no compensation except the pawn. So if you're going to have no compensation except for a pawn, you're going to want to play accurately. So here, do I just take? Do I save my piece? Do I defend the pawn? guess defending the pawn, eventually planning to play my bishop over is good. Or here, threatening bishop here. That looks quite nice. But then he pushes the pawn, so I don't know. Do I just take and then play against these pawns here? I kind of want to play for check. Playing for check on a8, forcing his bishop to go into a defensive position, but no, this must win. This just is clearly winning, in fact, because takes, I defend and attack at the same time. He pushes, and then I just if I play my king over, he's gonna... No, this is fine. Yeah, this is good. Right here. Okay, so he's trying to defend with all his might. Now I'm going to go here. Threatening rook e7. And here I just... Well, I can't take, but... I guess I can just defend. No problems there. I'm going to push the pawn and win the pawn. If rook takes, I'm still up the exchange and I'm winning the pawn back with check. I gotta play quick now. I only have a minute 51 on the clock. We're doing this. I like this variation for white. Very simple for me. I like simple. So if he starts to go this way, I think I win the pawn, right? And winning the pawn also threatens the dark square bishop. There's no defense for his h pawn. You know, he can try to win this guy right here and look to push the pawn. It's very nice for me that his dark square bishop can never defend the square, however. Could play here. No, I'm just going to take. I could go here. So I'm defending my pawn. King over. Then I attack the piece. He has to play his king back, because taking the pawn would be bad. Oh, he's doing that. That's not good, is it? I just go here. Who's spectating? My buddy Black Magic. Very strong player. Alright, I could pin the bishop. I could attack the pawn. Probably just attacking the pawn is right. If he takes, I take. If he doesn't take and tries to defend, then I can get my king active. If he goes there, I have this. And we're going to threaten checkmate pretty soon. I'm going to get my king over and then play rook a6. Anytime he attacks my rook, I attack him back. So here comes checkmate. Only one move, and that's rook up here. Oh, we didn't see it. Bang. Good game, buddy. Alright guys, if anyone was watching, I want to thank you for watching this rather long video. I know a lot of you may very well be used to watching blitz chess. Anyways, I hope that was instructive and fun, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.